Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 21st school board meeting. We're going to start with the pledge, so if everyone can please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm now going to introduce Mr. Copeland.
Thank you, Dr. Gilbert. Every year, the Board of School Directors and I have the great pleasure of joining our high school principals in honoring the Lower Merion School District students who have been recognized by the National Merit Scholarship Competition. We're so proud of these students, not only because they have scored well on a test, but because they've also have many other pursuits and a variety of interests and academic accomplishments. A combined 28 students from Harriton and Lower Merion High Schools have been named semifinalists in the 2020 National Merit Scholarship Competition, and an additional 47 students received the Commended Student designation. Our Lmsb semifinalists are among approximately 16,000 semifinalists being recognized overall this year. These academically talented high school seniors have an opportunity to continue in the competition for some 7,500 National Merit scholarships worth more than $31 million. That's for all 7,500 students. You don't get 31 million. More than 90% of the semifinalists are expected to attain finalist standing, and about half of the finalists will win a National Merit Scholarship, earning the Merit Scholar title. So we recognize these students and wish them all the best as they represent our district and move on in the competition. Congratulations to everybody, and have a great evening. I'll now turn it over to Mr. Weinstein.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott Weinstein. I'm the principal of Harriton High School. I want to take a moment to thank the students on stage from both schools. Congratulations to the students from Lower Merion and certainly our students from Harriton High School. There's a lot of people I hope you would want to thank along the way. As high school principals, we often get the recipients and have all the accolades, but it's not lost on us that your K-12 schooling was influential in you being on stage tonight. So hopefully you look back on your elementary and middle school teachers with fondness, preparing you to be here tonight, and certainly your high school teachers as well. Additionally, your family, many of them here with you tonight, are a big source of immediate support at your homes. But most of the credit belongs to you. We thank you for being here tonight. There are a lot of your classmates that are also going to have their names read tonight that have other obligations, but we thank you for carving time out to join us tonight. I'm going to read the names. You've already shown you can do really well in the PSAT, so this is going to be easy. I'm going to call your name. You're going to come up one at a time. You're going to get your certificate. Shake two hands. Dr. Gilbert, our school board president, and Mr. Copeland, our superintendent. And I'm thanking you in advance. Afterwards, we're going to be able to meet in the lobby and get some pictures taken with both schools. So if you'll hang around for a little bit, that'd be great. First, Sierra Anderson. As you hear your name, please come on up. Ravi Balasubramanian. Graham Branscombe. Samuel Catania. Ryan Cohen. Lucy Dwyer. Congratulations, Lucy. Christiana Filipov. Shayna Ginsburg. Ahan Hakimogla. Charisma Hassan. Terry Key. Anna Lee. William Leedy. Amelie LeMay. Catherine Lynch. Yasmin Majid. Patrick McCann. John Neary, Michael O'Connor, Theodore Panaguia. Sorry, Teddy. Jay Ramaswamy, Thomas Rossini. Lorraine Rupert. Emily Sandler. Theo Sharp. Melanie Sporn. Olivia Suter. Owen Warden. Eli Wanacott. Emily Wright. Allison Zhang. Mona Lee Zhao. Sunmi Zhao. Students from Harriton, I'm the one here that's able to congratulate you in person and get to greet you tonight. Please know this on behalf of our entire faculty and staff. We're very proud of you. Congratulations. At this point, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Sean Hughes, principal of Lower Merion High School.
Happy Monday, everyone, and good evening. So first off, as Mr. Copeland and Mr. Weinstein so elegantly stated, this is an excellent achievement for students in your academic careers, and I am also honored to be here tonight to celebrate this with you and to recognize your accomplishments. I know that our teachers, besides your family members, and our staff here are very proud of what you've done, your work ethic, your passion for learning, your achieving and setting goals for yourself, and we thank you for that and say continue the work. And as I say all the time in terms of character, make sure you thank all of those around you that have helped you along your educational journey. Besides, it's good to say thank you to so many other people, another part of being a great person. So with that being said, same format, students from Lower Merion, those that are here tonight, I'd ask you to come forward. I am going to read everybody's name just to be heard. And please come up, shake hands, and receive a certificate. So first, Maya Ackerman, Samantha Anderer, Oran Barish, Charles Berman, Eric Bing, Helena Bloball, Gabriel Brodeur, Teresa Cato, Christopher DeSantis, William DeSantis, Anna Dubnoff, Swan Feldman, Eugenia Fang, Samantha Geyer, Jacob Gottsman, Adam Hetzelton, Chang Chi Eric Hung, Micah Jamo, Roland Johnson, Eliza Keefe, Zeke Kells, Diane Kim, Lewis Coatman, Alexander Levinson, Jasmine Lee, Annie Liang, Jeffrey Lipson, David Liu, Henry Mills, Ezra Mittman, Haley Morgenstern, Julius Murphy, Nicholas Pant, Jason Wren, Asher Sachs, Sydney Scher, Oliver Stern, Leo Strudler, Talia Trentacost, Colleen Wang, and Sophie Yang. Congratulations to our National Merit Scholars. Thank you very much. Students, we're going to ask you to follow Ms. Buckman out into the lobbyway, and parents, they're going to line the students up, so please feel free to take pictures, and thank you very much for tonight.
Okay, so we're now ready to, the tape is rolling. Thank you. So again, welcome to everyone. Thank you for staying for the meeting. We now have this very empty room, but I have a feeling it might be filled up on Thursday night from what I'm hearing. So we'll have that opportunity. At this point, we're going to have audience recognition on agenda items only. So if you'd like to ask a question or make a comment on an item we will be voting on tonight, then please come to the podium now, and we'll have opportunity for comment or questions on any issue at the end of the meeting. Is there anyone? Nope. Okay. We need to approve the attached minutes from the Board of School Directors meetings, the September 16th regular business board meeting, the October 14th Education Committee and supplementary regular board meeting, as well as accepting the following committee meeting minutes: September 25th Communications, October 8th Curriculum, October 11th Policy, and October 17th Facilities and Purchasing. Do you have a motion to approve?
So move.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes. Mr. Copeland.
I'm going to go directly to the human resources. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached human resources actions, HR 1 through HR 3.
Are there any questions? Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes. At this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Van Lynch to give us a report from the Curriculum Committee meeting of the board on October 8th.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Gilbert. The Curriculum Committee met on Tuesday, October 8th at 8:30 a.m. in the Lower Merion Administration Building boardroom. We had 2 contracts under review, one for Dr. Benna Kalick, who will work with our secondary staff and faculty on habits of mind for our K-12 students. Dr. Kalick guided the district through its recent modification of our elementary report card. The contract is a not to exceed $25,000. Our second contract that the board, curriculum committee of the board reviewed was for iTutor, who will provide online tutoring for students in grades 9 to 12. The district has found it difficult to identify and staff tutors to meet the needs of our high school students. Mr. Copeland shared that iTutor is a relatively new company out of New York that will initially work closely with students who've not been successful in the biology Keystone exam. iTutor was piloted with 2 students last spring who were observed to be actively engaged in the sessions. The focus will be on math and science, and content pre-teaching or a flipped classroom model will continue to be utilized to support students in building their confidence in these content areas. The cost of iTutor will be $47 per hour for one-to-one tutoring, and this contract is a not to exceed $50,000 for this academic year, and unused hours can be carried over to the next academic year. Our update discussion topic was from Dr. Leslie Pratt, who presented the curriculum committee with a resource specifically for grammar, mechanics, and usage instruction geared toward grades 6 to 12, entitled No Red Ink. No Red Ink is a digital platform that provides a personalized experience for students to teach and support their continued development in grammar, mechanics, and usage. This year, the platform is being piloted with 10 teachers in grades 6 to 8 to ensure that it meets the district's needs and supports convention instruction. Dr. Pratt shared that PA core standards state that students should have command of standard American English, including grammar, mechanics, and usage by the end of middle school. And No Red Ink will supplement that classroom instruction in this area. And our main presentation topic was around our 2019 summer programs. Dr. Everslag and various staff and administrators presented an update on the myriad programs that the district sponsors throughout the summer. He shared that the district has moved beyond the typical summer school model to a primary focus on summer learning. There were 1,291 students engaged in summer programming in 2019, with 83% attending for enrichment and/or advancement purposes. Summer learning across the district has grown from 716 students in 2013 to 1,291 that were supported this summer. The summer programs include the following: extended school year, Succeed, Progress, Improve, and Enjoy Your Summer, also known as SPIES, secondary summer school online, secondary summer school face-to-face, write-in, smart reading, YES, or Youth Experiencing Success Academy, English Language Development Academy, Bridge 8th to 9th, Math Bridge 5th to 6th, Math Bridge 6th to 7th, 8th, STEM Elementary, and STEM Secondary Jumpstart. 33% of students participated in the summer learning programs for enrichment, and 51% participated to accelerate their learning opportunities. Only 2% of our students were in summer learning programs for remediation. Dr. Everslag concluded the presentation sharing with the curriculum committee that the programs and opportunities are increasing for students with the overwhelming percentage increasing opportunities for students with the overwhelming percentage of 83% of our students engaged in enrichment and accelerated opportunities. These opportunities contribute to an enhanced experience for students in the upcoming school year. The curriculum committee thanked Dr. Everslag and the curriculum and instruction team and faculty for their update and support of student learning during our summer months. Our next meeting is Wednesday, November 6th at 8:30 a.m. in the same room. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Van Lynch.
For educational services, I'd like to take motions B through E in one motion. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the overnight trips requested as listed. And C, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached contract renewal with Dr. Benna Kalick for the 2019-2020 school year with a not-to-exceed amount of $25,000. D, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached contract with iTutor for the 2019-2020 school year for $50,000 to provide services described in the contract, including one-to-one tutoring and academic support. And E, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the proposal from the Improve Group in collaboration with WestEd to evaluate the district's special education programming in the amount of $74,833, including staff time, travel expenses, and administrative fees, subject to solicitor review.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes.
Under Student Services, I'd like to take motions A through C in one motion. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approve the student services items as listed. Agreement for students receiving non-district educational services SS1 to SS5. Further, the administration recommends that the Board of School Director approves the attached agreement with Chester County Intermediate Unit for 4 behavior specialists through June 15, 2020 for $74.90 per hour. And finally, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached Achieve 3000 agreement to provide an online instructional tool for differentiated instruction for our special education students with reading needs at the secondary level for 2019-2020 school year in the amount of $17,395.
Thank you, Mr. Copeland. Are there any questions? Go ahead, Dr. Bainbridge.
Thank you, Dr. Gilbert. Question regarding the behavioral specialist. Can we get a sense of why the need? Are there more students that have the need, or where are we with that?
Mrs. Frazier, where did Mrs. Frazier go? How many are in for the special education program? So there are 4 that are for the special education program, and 1 is for the regular education program. And
I'm sorry, Kimberly, you're going to have to come up to the front. I'm sorry.
I tried.
So we utilize both MCIU and CCIU. So MCIU's was already approved last month. This is for CCIU. We have 4 full-time behavior specialists that support special education students across all 10 of our schools. We currently have 3 that support general education students in 3 of our schools. That's at Belmont Hills, BC Middle, and Penn Valley, with the hopes of expanding that.
Was that an increase at all, or is that our standard number of behavioral specialists?
It was, for the 1920 school year, it was an increase for both special education and regular education based on needs.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes. At this time, I'd like to request that Mr. Driscoll give a report of the October 17th Facilities and Purchasing Committee meeting.
Thank you very much. We began, as always, reviewing and recommending for approval a list of bills. We then reviewed and recommended for approval the following items off the purchasing report. Contract with Cherry Valley Tractor Sales, $9,860 to lease a backhoe from November 25 through March 31 to assist in snow removal. This is a lower cost option than buying, storing, and maintaining our own backhoe for just snow removal. The second contract was with Clipper Pipe and Service, a total of $173,000. One of the boilers at Penn Valley has failed and is beyond repair. Replacement of this will occur now versus the 23-24 school year, as was set forth in the district's 5-year facilities improvement plan back in February 2019. Just a quick reminder that plan was to replace both boilers at Penn Valley Elementary in the year 23-24. This boiler that failed was installed in 2003, so that's about 16 years, which is about right for where they are. And some other just related, we have old boilers at Belmont Hills, Kinwood, and Gloucester and Marion that will need replacement in the coming years. We then moved on to district contracts, some of which I'll go briefly. The CCIU for behavioral specialist. Achieve 3000 for differential instruction, Ben Akalik to do help with habits and minds, the iTutor to provide long-distance tutoring where we cannot, and the Improved Group in collaboration with West Ed. This was a new contract to assist in evaluating the special ed program. Just as a note, that company was selected from one of 7 respondents to a district RFP. Next contract was Medical Transport Systems at various rates. This is an outside vendor who will provide primary transportations for students with physical disabilities. Having this contract in place allows the district to call upon this vendor when district transportation and other vendors are unable to provide bus service. Kronos, $24,320. Kronos is the timekeeping package the district has been using for years. The current system uses Adobe Flash that is being phased out. This upgrade will provide the same services without reliance upon the Adobe Flash. Power School, $15,660. This is the annual maintenance contract to provide Power School services to the district. This includes backup services for the district servers that run Power School. Starlight, $230,516.17. The district has numerous wireless systems, e.g. microphones, that operate in the 600 megahertz frequency band. The FCC has reallocated this bandwidth to a different service such that using this equipment is no longer permitted. So this contract is to purchase new equipment that will be FCC compliant for various schools. Plan Con K submission, no additional cost. This is part of the bond refinancing this year that the district must file this paperwork with PDE. Spiesel Architecture Group, $1,710,000 for fees. Also includes in addition, not to exceed $239,500 for civil engineering, as Chester Valley Engineers is a sub-consultant to Spiesel, and $36,000 for early site work bid package. For all of that together is $1,985,500. All of this is coming about because as the building design for the new middle school at 1860 is nearing its final stages, the current estimated cost of building construction has been refined such that the final architectural fees can now be determined, and the subcontracting fees are to get the plans into final preparation for bidding, and site preparation is for blasting the rock that will need to be done this early winter. Chester Valley Engineers, not to exceed $95,000. As enrollment has continued to increase, the district is now anticipating further issues with Marion Elementary. This contract is to begin design and site work for adding temporary classrooms at Marion over the summer that would then open in fall of 2020. Chester Valley Engineers, not to exceed $65,000, as the township has demanded changes to the proposed playing fields at 1835 County Line Road. The district needs to pay for additional design and engineering services to meet those requests. We discussed the following change orders. There were 2, Bright Fields, an increase of $15,316. Most of the buildings at 1860 Montgomery Avenue have been removed or in the process of being removed. Unfortunately, the main house remains due to the issues with cell towers on its roof. Bright Fields will leave the site very soon as it's done everything else and return when the main house can be demolished. This increase is to cover the unexpected demobilization and future mobilization to finish the demolition work there. The second change order was Prison Response, a decrease of $3,730.38. This is the net of 2 changes. First, an increase of $1,212.16 to remove and dispose of contaminated soil under an old tank, coupled with an increase of $532.46 to replace the removed soil. But the second item is a decrease of $5,475 for a transformer that was on the property that needed to be removed. PECO removed it and thus negated this line item from our budget. That ended our business meeting, and then we went on just to receive an update on the middle school. The team is working towards final designs, as I said, in the building and immediate grounds at 1860 Montgomery Ave. We are submitting papers to PD in preparation for the Act 34 hearing, scheduled tentatively for January 2020. AT&T will be going to the zoning hearing board. I can't remember if it's October or November to erect temporary tower at 1860 so the demolition of the main house can be finalized. Our next meeting will be over at the DAO on November 14th at 8:30. Thank you, Dr. Gilbert.
Thank you very much, Mr. Orlando.
Under the Business Office and Finance section, I'd like to take items B through G in one motion. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the following action items: approve the list of bills, approve the financial report for September 2019, acknowledge receive the first quarter student activities report, accept donation with pleasure pursuant to policy 702, $250 from Abigail and Joshua Rubin towards the district's school lunch fund, appoint the firm of Claire Harrison for professional services related to the district's plan to build a new middle school and accompanying playing fields with an hourly rates for partners ranging from $350 to $595 per hour, and declare surplus equipment as surplus property and authorize the disposition thereof.
Before I ask if there are any questions, I just want to thank Abigail and Joshua Rubin for their gift towards the district school lunch fund. Are there any questions at this time? Sorry. Is there a motion to approve? Deborah, so moved. Second? Second. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes.
Under the facilities and operations, I'm going to take items A through I in one motion. All these items were reviewed as noted in Mr. Driscoll's report at the facilities and purchasing meeting and brought forward tonight for approval. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the following action items. Award the contract for a backhoe rental at 425 Belmont Avenue and boiler replacement at Penn Valley Elementary School. Approve the transportation carrier contract with Medical Transport Systems for the school year 2019-20 for the fee schedule included in their proposal. Approve the 7th Amendment for professional services with Spiza Architectural Group in the amount of $1,985,500. Approve professional services with Chester Valley Engineers, Inc. for temporary classroom space at Marion Elementary School for not to exceed amount of $95,000. And additional playing fields at 18 West Montgomery and 1835 County Line for not to exceed amount of $65,000. Approve the quote and addendum with Kronos Incorporated for software upgrade in the amount of $24,320. Approve the quote from Power School Enterprise Management Services for self-hosting service and support in the amount of $15,660, and that is subject to solicitor's review. Approve the quotes from Starlight, subject to solicitor's review, for wireless microphones in the amount of $187,041.17, and the Anchor audio system in the amount of $24,582.68. Approve submission of Plancom Parquet, project refinancing to the Pennsylvania Department of Education for the issuance of the General Obligation Bond Series 2019A for the refinancing of the General Obligation Bond Series 2013 and 14, and approve the change orders for hazardous materials abatement and building demolition at 1860 West Montgomery Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Orlando. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? The motion passes. And I'd now like to ask Ms. Suba Robinson for a report from the Policy Committee meeting of October 11th.
Thank you. The Policy Committee met at the District Administration Office Boardroom on October 11th at 8:30 a.m. We discussed policies for second reading, the following policies. Policy 220, Courses Beyond Instructional Program. The purpose of this policy is to provide direction regarding students who complete an instructional program sequence in any academic discipline of the high school curriculum prior to graduation. The policy details what the district will and will not provide so as to continue to challenge the student academically prior to graduation. Students are encouraged to apply for an independent study course as provided by the district. Policy 240, Makeup work because of absence, has been proposed for repeal as it will be incorporated into Policy 207, Attendance. Policy 241, Releasing Pupils During the School Day, is also proposed for repeal as it will be incorporated into Policy 207, Attendance. Policy 242, Obtaining a high school diploma in less than 4 years, was discussed. A high school diploma will be awarded by the board in less than 4 years in the event that a student completes the requisite credit and course requirements through the successful course completion in regular and/or summer classes at the high school level or at any other accredited high school. Students are recommended to work closely with their counselor, and final approval rests with the building principal. Policy 255, confidentiality of Social Security numbers, is proposed for repeal due to obsolescence. We do not collect Social Security numbers. Policy in AR 800, records management. The purpose of this policy in AR is to clarify how, which, and when records will be retained, stored, and destroyed. For first readings, we had the following policies. Policy 239, award scholarships and contests sponsored by outside organizations. The district encourages students to participate in worthwhile activities, whether school-sponsored or not. However, the district shall not encourage any activity that materially interferes with instructional efforts or limits instructional time. Further, the district will not encourage, support, or facilitate student participation in awards, scholarships, or contests that require a student fee for consideration. This policy details where and when information about such programs can be shared with students. Policy 243, campus privileges. This policy was proposed for repeal last month due to obsolescence. However, we have brought it back as a first reading. Based upon additional information contained in the policy, the administration is bringing it back with no revisions. As such, this policy does not have to go through the normal first reading, second reading process. It is reviewed for publication. A new administrative regulation has been created, however, to administer privileges such as coming to school later due to a study hall or leaving early due to a study hall. These privileges are available to secondary students at the second semester, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade who maintain a minimum grade point average of C and get written permission from their parents or guardians to participate. Appendix A of this policy contains the permission form, which will be electronic. Then we had administrative regulation review. AR 207, attendance, was adjusted to incorporate the policies being proposed for repeal, such as policy 240, makeup work due to absence, and policy 241, releasing students during the school day. AR 206-4 was then reviewed, assignment of pupils within the district, superintendent authorization to assign students to maintain class size targets. We specifically discussed the partner school program, adding the language that except as for sections that are capped as described above, families that register online on or before May 1st, 2020, and complete the registration process by providing in person the requisite documentation required by June 1st, 2020, will be guaranteed that their child or children will be assigned to their home school. This allows the district to cap sections of students or classes at specific schools earlier than May 1st due to need, thus allowing the district greater flexibility in administering the partner school program. The next policy committee meeting will be held on November 8th in the district administration office building, boardroom. Thank you.
Thank you. And the following were reviewed for a second reading, as Ms. Robinson said. Policy 220, courses beyond instructional program. Policy 240, makeup work because of absence, proposed for repeal and to be incorporated into policy 207, attendance. Policy 241, releasing pupils during the school day, proposed for repeal and to incorporate into policy 207, attendance. Policy 242, obtaining a high school diploma in less than 4 years. Policy 255, confidentiality of Social Security numbers, proposed for repeal because we don't use them. Policy AR 800, records management. Are there any questions at this time? Sure.
If we're folding all those other policies into 207, don't we have to review 207?
We reviewed 207's regulation, I'm sorry. We reviewed 207's regulations, which they were folded into.
So we took them out of policy and put them into regs?
Yes. And there's some language in the policy as well.
I just pulled the policy up. It's
unchanged?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Ken here?
While we're waiting for that, I'll do the first read.
Yes,
So that
that'd
we
be
can, so the following policy was reviewed for first reading, Policy 239, awards, scholarships, and contests sponsored by outside organizations. You have to put your mic on.
Well, it just seems to me that, just looking at the policy that's posted, it's one paragraph, 4 lines. So, and then a second paragraph that's 2 lines. I mean, it's very, very brief, and we just folded in.
It sounds like we folded it into the AR, correct? Okay, you don't have your mic on?
Let me
Here,
just,
right here, here's the AR.
Yeah.
Attendance was adjusted to incorporate the policy.
I would have thought Megan would have, right, this
just making sure it's
information.
worded rightly. We are, it's correct, yes, we are, what, is your question, why are we repealing 241, or is it?
No,
No.
no.
she's-
My question is, 207 is entitled attendance. We just added all this other stuff that's not specifically attendance into 207's regs, and I feel like more should be, the description of the poly itself should cover that. So
Well, we-
I just asked that the policy committee look at that.
Well, I was going to say, we can
Yeah.
vote on we
Yeah.
can vote on this, and then we can take a look at that, because the rest of it's been incorporated into the ARs. So the question, I think, is, given that we're incorporating that into the ARs, do we need to actually shift the policy at all?
No, everything that was done in terms of, I mean, there were extensive changes to 207 AR, but they were all done deliberately.
All right, well,
I don't-
it's not posted.
I don't know what, I don't understand, I'm not sure I understand what what the specific concern is.
Okay, well, I think we can...
No, these are all things that are, these were all things that were, I don't know what, how do I say this? Everything that was done deliberately and consciously, and was done over the course of the 2 meetings. If you want to revisit what was done, you can move to table this or ask that it be changed. But there's nothing in the AR that's inappropriate for an AR as opposed to a policy.
Okay, so why don't we, since that's true, we can take a vote on this, and then we can ask that it just be looked at. If we need to bring it back again, we can do that.
Just one more question before we vote on it. As soon as we repeal the previous policies, like the ARs are not posted on the website?
Yes, they are.
They are.
After they're approved.
Well, we're not approving the ARs for 207 today, are we?
You don't
We
approve
don't have to
ARs.
formally approve them.
Well, you said they were approved
I
with their
apologize.
poster
I
after we
meant-
approved. Okay, I can have this conversation offline. I don't need to have it now, but
Okay.
I'm just concerned that we need to make sure that we're as clear as possible with what these policies are covering and how they're covering them.
Okay. Are there any other questions at this time? Do you have a motion to approve?
So
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes. I already read the first reading, and then we're going to move to, the administration is recommending that the Board of School Directors approves the attached 2020 board meeting dates. Are there any questions? Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do you have a second? Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion passes. I would now like to ask Ms. Finger for a report of the Communications Committee meeting of October 25th.
September 25th.
There's a typo.
That would make sense. It says October 25th.
Yes.
But yes, we are,
Okay.
it is only October, that's
I
good.
know. We'd be
Although if you
bouged
could
that day.
actually report on a meeting that was going to happen in the future, then we,
Yep, we're going back to the future. So
okay, thank you, September 25th.
All right, the Communications Committee met on September 25th in the building next door. Amy Buckman gave several updates, the first of which was on the Raptor system. We have guards at all schools. Communications went out to all secondary school families in the beginning of the school year regarding the guards at their individual schools and how Raptor would be used. There have been no issues from parents reported so far. Volunteer management system was the next piece, and included in our Raptor contract is a community-facing volunteer management module that fits our needs. The system helps to bring volunteers into the schools by tracking all clearances, including expiration dates, and will also alert people in the system when their clearances will be expiring within 60 days so that they can be renewed. Additionally, there is an application form that parents and guardians can use to put their information, as well as check off areas of interest for volunteering. So far, over 1,100 parent-guardian volunteers have registered. To put this into context, we had 2,000 volunteers in paper files that were gathered over the course of 3 to 4 years. So this 1,100 that we have is a really good number. We're continuing to get a handful of applications a day. The next part was the community engagement. So within the year, once all of our parents and guardians are registered and any kinks are worked out, our goal is to have a wider community campaign to sign up with our volunteer management system that'll then be searchable by our teachers looking for community partners. This aligns with the community engagement pathway of our strategic plan. The next update was on Blackbaud. Blackbaud expiration whatever the word I'm looking for, to be exact. We had a 3-year contract with Blackbaud that will expire later this year. We're not renewing it as it did not work the way we wanted it to, which was to integrate it with our public-facing portal on our website provider, Finalsite. Finalsite will provide us with messaging and payment processing modules. It is user-friendly. Alumni can input information, update it, pay dues, or give donations. Additionally, we have a dedicated account manager who will help us implement what we want, and this move will be a cost savings for us. Residencies. Thanks to Mark Klein, our interim director of curriculum, we have 4 residency partnerships that are starting or have already started as of the first week of October. These residencies will provide at least 1 guaranteed experience across the grade, plus at least 2 additional ones that may be on our site. The following are the residencies. They are the African American Museum for our 8th graders, the Barns for our 3rd graders, the Lower Merion Conservancy for our 4th and 7th graders, and the Museum of American Revolution for our 5th graders. To give some background, we looked through the list of over 300 field trips by grade, and these grades had the most popular field trips already in place. We reached out to organizations discussing our curriculum, what they could provide, and ways we could go beyond field trips. Our administrators will take care of organizing the trips and the buses for our teachers. In return for the partnerships, we'll set up a page on our website for these places to share information about special programs they may be running that would be of interest for the families. Our teachers went on these field trips in August to experience what our children will experience when they visit. They are not in place of other field trips. Teachers can still seek out others. These are just the guaranteed ones. We're also looking at residencies that will come into the district for our secondary schools for long-term, kind of like a scholar in residence. John Fadley at the high school level is looking at junior achievement, potentially pairing that with dual enrollment, financial literacy, life skills, entrepreneurship. The challenge with the high school is that no 2 kids do exactly the same thing, and that would make those field trips kind of a challenge, the guaranteed ones. The next update was on the new middle school opening September 2022. And one of the ideas is one of the things that is happening is we will have middle school ambassadors, new middle school ambassadors. 6 second and third grade students from Penwyn and Gladwin have been selected by their principals to be the new middle school ambassadors. These students will be 5th and 6th graders when the new middle school opens, and we will watch them grow as the new middle school grows. There'll be visits to the new middle school, pictures and videos will be taken. They've got hard hats, shovels, pens, whatever. And as we get to these big PR events like the groundbreaking, we'll continue to get back to these 6 students to get their thoughts. Parents were contacted and all are excited about this idea. Additionally, a quarterly electronic newsletter to update the community on our progress will be sent out as an email through School Messenger. It'll be posted on our website as well as to social media. This will also be a place to advertise contests for the school name, school colors, mascot, etc. The next update was on sleep and school start times, and just coming up this Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. right here, the working group for the sleep and school start time will be making its recommendation to the board. Amy will work with Scott Eveslag, Dr. Christina Ayers-Paul, Trigo Ed on laying out the basics. The plan is to then have a series of other forums, both during the day and in the evening at different locations to accommodate our community. Proposed initiatives, gold passes. So the goal here is to have more members of the community work and interact with our students. Gold Passes is a program for folks 65 and older in our community to take part in events like shows, sports, concerts, using the pool, all of these things for free. There had not been publicity about these events being open to our seniors in the past, and the goal is to make it known by advertising. The next is LMSD 101. This would be an inside look at the district for a select cohort of community members chosen through an application process to then act as ambassadors to spread information how we are augmenting our strategic plan. How it would work? Well, thanks for asking. One evening per month for about 2 hours, there would be an immersive deep dive into a specific process, topic, or project. The meetings would be held at the location specific to that topic. For example, a meeting about our transportation would take place at the Transportation Department and led by our Director of Transportation. This would involve the superintendent, members of the cabinet, perhaps some students, depending on monthly topic, and some board members. Members would be recognized and thanked in May for their service. Our board meeting videos are now closed captioned for further accessibility by the community. And the meeting ended, and our next one will be November 20th at 7 p.m. over in the building next door in the DAO. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Finger. At this time, we're going to have audience recognition on any issue, agenda or non-agenda. As per our tradition, we allow our students, who we hope will go home and then get sleep, to come up first. So, Mr. Salmonson, if there are any other students here, they would also be able to go. I don't see anybody.
I believe they were smart and they all went home. Noah Salmonson, Narberth. Good evening, board members. Today I would like to bring to you an ongoing discussion that has been happening at Harrington High School for quite some time now. As you can probably guess, I spend most of my free time in school discussing issues with students, helping to identify problems that students may have, and oftentimes I end up discussing these issues with our school administration. I'd like to applaud Harrington's administration for their openness for student discussion, and I also applaud Mr. Weinstein's decision this year to start the Principal Advisory Board, which is a group of students which convene every month to discuss these issues. With that being said, oftentimes we find that it is out of school administration's control, and that it is often a matter that you, the school board, would have the power to deal with. To that end, after discussing possible solutions with students, including our student council leaders, we would like to ask the school board to consider adding 2 non-voting student representatives to the school board in the future. These students would be appointed, one from each high school each year, to fairly represent the students. These students would not vote, as the name suggests, but would provide a much-needed bridge between you, the board, and the general student body. Districts around the country are now implementing this change, allowing student voices to help bring these issues to their boards. This change, of course, would be directly in line with our strategic plans, specifically the strategic pathway of student-driven schools. Open communication between students and the board is, from what I have seen, is often the most productive form of communication, and it oftentimes allows direct student input into issues that directly affect them. School start times, as an example. I hope that this board will consider adding these positions for the future as students continue to use their voices to speak about their concerns.
Thank you very much. That's a very interesting proposal that does, in fact, align quite well with our strategic plan. So I'm sure we will consider this proposal that you've brought to us. Thank you. Yes, go home to bed.
Go to sleep. Ruth Jenkin, Winwood. I just was thinking about last week's presentation on the summer school and all of the health courses that are taken to avoid having taken them in class, and the the students that were advancing, and only 3% of the students were remediation students. What happens to students who are failing and can't go to summer school? What happens to their graduation, to their kind of help that they get?
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins.
Is the answer that they can't go to summer school because of funding? Is that what you mean? Yeah, well, the district takes care of the funding if you're on free and reduced lunch. If you have to work, then you'd have to work out at time. It's one of the benefits of going to a lot of online programs.
Did you have something to add? You look like you had. Sure, go for it.
Students have a graduation plan that's crafted with their counselor every year also based on the courses that they need. So if, in some cases, if a student wasn't successful, they can still put together a plan that would allow them to graduate within 4 years. It just limits some of their scheduling flexibility.
Thank you. Mr. Myers, you can.
Oh, thank you. Hi, Ben Meyer from Penwyn area. I've have 4 kids that 2 have gone through completely, and 2 are getting close. I must thank you for serving our schools as a board, this board and prior boards, and I think on balance this has been an excellent education and, in my opinion, a very good value for the kids. I'm not really here to talk about that, but I think it's important to note that, you know, there's a lot of success at Lower Merion, and that's terrific. I think if you look at right now with Penwyn, the board and perhaps the community as a whole have gotten a little more insular as far as the leadership. Sometimes lawyers, the best intentions, but they can convince their clients that if they only spend enough time, you know, arguing, that they'll get a better result. And that's not necessarily true. Sometimes, like with the third middle school, you guys were very open a few years ago to maybe neighborhood stabilization wasn't quite the right answer, and you sincerely explored that avenue. It doesn't require lawyers, but you talked to many communities, including Penwyn, did surveys, and I think you rightfully came to the conclusion that third middle school, while nothing's perfect, but you came to the conclusion collectively that it was the best decision, and that was great. Reverse course by staying open to the possibilities, and there are many. So I think that's right now. There's certainly an interplay between your board and the school board as far as zoning, and I think that's part of the driving force behind the permit application at Penwyn to go from, yeah, I'll do my best. I'm so sorry. I think I emailed you folks, and Penwyn Civic also was largely behind this, but I just didn't have time to get full approval of it. But suffice it to say, I'll just be quick. Currently, Penwyn's hard play area is 20% of the total play area. It's 3% at Penn Valley, 8% at Marion, 5% at Gladwin. Belmont Hills is 13%. Kenwood, I don't think is comparable since they share outdoor space. However, you've proposed to put an additional significant amount, which is going to drive us up to 30% total hard play area. So somehow Penwyn is 2 to 6 times more asphalt per child using the latest numbers than any other elementary school. I don't think you really think that Penwyn outdoor play area is so different than other elementary schools. So I basically would just want to encourage you to, as you did before with the third middle school, and sincerely, thank you, but I think that you should stay open to the possibility of negotiating in good faith with the township, work with the community. There are certainly better ways to help the children, I think, than paving over so much. And it's all summarized here, and these are your numbers on the back. So you can easily do the numbers just as well as me. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Next.
Hi, Sharon Weinstein from Penwyn. I'm interested to hear about the Ambassador 101 program, and I understand, I guess, what's happening, the meetings, these ambassadors will be at the school and have sessions, but I'm not sure how they'll get the information from the school to the community. I'm wondering if they'll be participating in civic association meetings. It would be great to have the ambassador be the school district liaison on the civics as one suggestion. I don't know what other things you're considering for them to be reaching out to the community so that we can have two-way communication. That's my first comment. And just to continue with what Ben was saying, Penwyn has less green space than any other school per student. We have more hard surface space than any other school per student. So I'm at a loss as to why Penwyn is the school that's having more hard surface play space, while we're the ones in need of it more than any other school, and that's a priority. You know, it's been very clear that our community has been trying to save our small green space for years now, and it felt sort of like I don't know, finger in the eye or something to have it just a proposal to pave it over again after all we've been through. So I hope you'll consider other options. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Would you like?
I can speak to the ambassador. The ambassador program is just a concept at this point. The details haven't been worked out.
Mr. Reese, can you do the sunshine, please?
Board met in executive session October 10th, 14th, and 21st. All 3 dates, the topic of litigation, threatened litigation was the topic. Also, additionally, on the 14th, there was a executive session deliberation regarding the LMEA contract, which was approved later that night at the public meeting.
Thank you. Upcoming board meeting dates, October 24th, which is this Thursday, there is a special meeting of the board to discuss the school start times proposal. That's being held here at Lower Marion High School in the auditorium starting at 7 p.m. The rest of our meetings will be held in our administration board room. So that's November 11th, Education Committee, November 18th, regular business board meeting, and then the following, those are at 8 o'clock, and then the following committee meetings will be held at 8:30 a.m., November 6th, curriculum, November 8th, policy, November 14th, facilities and purchasing, and then at 7 p.m. on November 21st will be the next communications meeting. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.